Good evening, children. So we will discuss second lesson in part 1 is ideas of development. So today's topic is about ideas of development. First of all, before going to start this topic, I'll ask you one question. Is that what are the developmental goals of a student? As a student, being a 10th student, what is the developmental goal of you? So most of you thinking that to get good GPA 10th standard, SSC public examinations, right? To get good marks in SSC public examinations are the developmental goals of a student. Means as a being a 10th student, you had a goal of reach the best GPA in SSC public examinations. See, this is the goal of you. After reaching this goal, then you may have to go with another goal for higher studies. After complete of your studies, then have to, yes, aspire or desire to reach you, become a doctor or become an engineer or become a chartered accountant and so on it is. Here, the different people have different developmental goals. Right now, as a student, have a goal is that to reach good GPA in 10th standard. As I myself had a goal is that to become a good teacher, to become a principal, to become a government teacher, isn't it? So when I compare my goal with your goal, is too different or not? And when we have to ask a question with the landless rural labor or a farmer goal is too different. A labor goal is too different. For example, a labor has to expecting regular days of work and expecting better wages or not, right? So here the different people have different developmental goals, but the goals are too different from one to another person. Yes, no. Here, why we need a development? How a people has to be developed. The people has to be developed by has been performing various kinds of activities. You know very well, the people has to be performing in 3 kinds of activities. Mainly, they are primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector activities. Right now, so as they have been working in these activities, the people has to be earn money, isn't it? For example, as I have been working in service activity or not, I am teaching itself. So as I have to teach, I have to earn money or not. I have to earn a salary or not. This salary, this income is my development. So this income is for my personal development or not. In the same way, as I have individual goals, in the same way, a state had a goals and even the country had some goals. For example, so what country had a goal to look after are the so people welfare is the developmental goal, or constructing dams across the rivers for irrigation for the farmers is the developmental goal, for generating electricity by thermal or else hydel is one of the goal of a country, to providing irrigation network to the farmers, to provide electricity for the industrialized. You know, the industries require electricity or not. That electricity is the basic concept for the industries. See, but who provide or who generate electricity? Government only now. The government is taking the responsibility for generating electricity. It is the basic requirement for their industries to their development or not. Here we have taken that different people have different developmental goals. What may be development for one may not for other. For example, see, the government is planning to construct a dam across the river. It is the developmental goal of a country. What is the goal of a country? Constructing dam across the river for irrigating the lands, for supporting to the farmers, for cultivating their lands, right? And also this dam has been generating hydroelectricity. It is need for industrialized. It's a basic need or not, right? It is the development of a nation. but it may not development for the people who suffered to build a dam. Nowadays, most of the farmers have been suffering to lose their livelihood under the dams, lost their housing under the dams, lost their aggregate lands, what they prospered, what they have to get, the production from them also losing or not under the dams. Isn't it? Means their lands are going to submerge in the dam, their housings are going to submerge in the dam, isn't it? So here what is happening? This is the goal of a country, development goal of a country, but it may not development for the people who has been living or who suffered. So by this, taking step which is by the government. Right now, see, first of all, we will see in a textbook there is a table given here. The different people have different aspirations or the goals. We will discuss now one by one. Right now, see, first of all, we'll discuss about a landless rural labor. Landless rural. See, what is the development goal of a landless rural labor? So just now we talked about different people have different developmental goals. The goal is too different from one to another person. Then all the people have the same notion of development now. Then all the people have the same developmental goals now. The goals are different from different people it is. So based on their aspirations, yes, no, are based on their intelligence. Clear? Are based on their activity also. Right now. So when we take the example of landless rural labor, a landless rural labor aspiration or a goal is that more days of work, first of all. As a labor, he is expecting, yes, more days of work or not. If he gets a work every day in a month, at least 20 days in a month, then he has to get earn some income or not, earn some money or not. With that money, he is going to run his family. Okay, he can be survive what he earns. Right now. So as a labor has to think about regular days of work and also better wages. Yes, he also think about better wages. Nowadays the government is announced that every labor had to get to minimum wages according to Minimum Wages Act, isn't it? So as he is expecting minimum wage or the better wage where he worked, where he underworked, and also expecting his children to send government school, that to school has been giving good education for them. As he is a poor person, as a poor labor, he is expecting the nearest school, the government school which is nearby him, he is giving good education to their children. Isn't it? So also one of the goal of him. And one more, he may not see the discrimination about him. Sometimes the society may discriminate the poor people or not. The poor people, isn't it? So he may not expect the society would not discriminate him. Or the developmental goals or the aspirations of a landless rural labor. So when we take out a prosperous farmer, one more example, a prosperous farmer. So prosperous farmer, okay, he may be a small or a medium or a large farmer. As a farmer, he is expecting good price for his production. That is minimum support price, isn't it? So nowadays the farmers are expecting good price for their production or not. Even the government also announcing the minimum support price to the farmers what they produced. So as a farmer, as a prosperous farmer, as he is expecting the minimum support price to what he produced. So if he produce a paddy or a wheat or a sugarcane, he is expecting good price to his products, his production, isn't it? Here, Here the two people when we compare, the landless rural labor goal is different than the prosperous farmer. The landless rural labor is expecting regular days of work and also better wages. But the prosperous farmer is thinking that or expecting that he is expecting minimum support price for his production, and also he wants to send his children abroad for higher studies. But the landless ruler was not thinking about his children to sending abroad for higher studies, isn't it? But he is thinking that the local school will be give a good education to their children. The quality of education to their children, just he expect that. Yes, no. See, when we comes to another example, an urban unemployed youth. Urban unemployed youth. And an urban unemployed youth, what are the aspirations of him? He is expecting employment, first of all. Okay, maybe in the government sector or else in the private sector. As he was unemployed, expecting job or not. So expecting job, expecting good job in the private or government sector is the development goal of a urban unemployed youth, isn't it? Here we have taken three kinds of person here, but the three people have different developmental goals or not. But each and every person has thing that to earn income for their personal development, for their personal growth. In the same way, the state government or a state or a country also think about to develop a nation. It is develop a nation, isn't it? So that is why in this particular lesson, how an individual person is going to develop, what are the developmental goals of an individual person, or what are the developmental goals of a state, or developmental goals of a country, we'll discuss in this particular lesson. Right now, see, when we talk about developmental goals, just we talked about income. Yes, no. The people has to think about income only. For income, the people has been working in the private sector. For earning income, the people has been working in the industrial sector and also various kinds of service activities also. For example, as I'm teaching you, behalf of teaching, have to earn money or not, isn't it? So earning money is one of the goal of a person. It's an individual goal of a person, isn't it? But income is not only the goal, but also a person has some other goals, other aspirations also. Yes, no. So let us discuss about income and other goals. Income and other goals. See, as I told you just now, then every person have a goal of to reach good income it is, or earning good income every day it is, or earning good income every month or per annum itself, isn't it? But along with the earning income, the people have some other goals also. They are respect from the others. Yes, no, respect. Respect to also one of the goal. This is comes under non-material things there. See, material, non-material things can be enjoying the people it is. I mean, a person has to be expected to reach his goal not only from the material goods, but also from non-material. For example, here security, respect to security, yes, no, and what we call so equal treatments, etc. are the non-material things. Yes, no. So a person has to be expected to not only income but also respect from the society, security from the forces, and equal treatment also. A person has been earning good income but not equal treating with the other people it is. Not equal treating it is. So then how he feel, isn't it? He feel that or he thinks that if he treat equally with them, he will be satisfied or not. A person is not at all satisfied with the earning income, but also when a person has to be get respect from the society or security from the forces or equally treat with the other people, then he has to be reach the goals. isn't it? But in this concept, what we understand, income is not only the goal of a person, but also he is expecting non-material things like respect from the society, security from the forces, equal treatment with others, also are the developmental goals of a person. Right? See, and along with them, job security also. Right now, job security. For example, a person employed in an organization it is. Right now, but that job may not give job security for him, may not give. Right now, but he is earning good income, but may not give good means what job security, then how he think it is, isn't it? So that is why a person also thinks about job security also. For example, as I myself, I got a good opportunity in abroad to earn a 30,000 salary it is. Yes, no. See, to see the 30,000 salary, I may is there, but that job may not give a job security to me, isn't it? So a person also thinks about the job security, the environment, and the local conditions to live there. Here I am getting less salary, but this salary has been satisfying me because here is a job security. I have to work here to continuously over the year. But there I may not get job security. There I may not get good salary. What they offered 30,000, but after a month they may reduce my salary also. What they agreed, and the environment what there may not good for yes my livelihood, yes my family health. Okay, if my family okay the health when facing any problems there itself, it's not a right way of choosing the path to move there it is. That is why a person has to think about job security where he is working with less salary also. Also one of the developmental goal. This is comes under non-material thing. Non-material thing. Right now. So let us moving on for comparison this. Okay, how to compare the people? So based on their development. So for example, in a classroom, the different kinds of students are sitting. But as a teacher, how a teacher can classify the students based on the enhancing marks. If I conduct a test for the students, then based on the marks, I have to segregate the people, those who are above average students, and below average students. See, what criteria I used for segregating the students in the class. I segregated with your earning marks, with your enhancing marks in a particular test, what I conducted, isn't it? So here, when I am going to compare the students, I have chosen your marks for segregating you, like above average, below average. But when I have to come to a state or a country, right now. So when are you studying in social studies, you have to study about the Western countries or developed countries. The Eastern countries are developing countries. Yes, how could you say about the Western countries are developed one? Or how could you say the Eastern countries are developing right now? When we talk about USA, it is well developed country in the world. How could you say based on the criteria what you used? I hope you used a criteria is that income. So based on the income, you decided that USA is well developed country, Britain is well developed country, Australia is well developed nation. But when it comes to India, you thought that yes, our income levels are may not reach to the Western countries. So based on that, then you compare India with USA, India is developing country right now, isn't it? China is developing country right now, Pakistan developing country right now, isn't it? So how you compare the nations based on their achievements or based on their income it is. Clear? So income is a criteria for a classification of countries you understood. Right? So when we compare the people who are the rich and poor, how we segregate the people? Are they the rich and poor based on the earnings or not? Based on the earning income or not? Based on the status or not? Okay, based on their housing we decide. Based on their using vehicles we decide. Based on their wearing of clothes we decide whether the person is rich or not. So based on his performance, his way of living, we are going to decide the person is rich or poor. In the same way, we are going to compare the countries taking income as a criteria. What we have to take? Income as a criteria for classification of countries, my dear students. Right now, just now I have taken an example of segregating the students in a class. In a class, the teachers segregated or divided the students into above, below, and average students. How? A criteria used by a teacher is your marks. Your marks are the criteria. Yes, no, but not about your height or weight or your color. It is based on your color. The teacher is not deciding you to segregating. Based on height and weight, the teacher doesn't segregate you whether you are good or not in studies, isn't it? So based on your studies or based on your getting marks in a particular test which is conducted by teacher, they can classify you as above average student, or below average student, isn't it? So here, regarding development, we have been using or taking some criteria. Yes, no, marks have taken as a criteria for your development, for your growth it is. Right now, for example, after 20 marks, a student got 18. Yes, he is an intelligent student. He is good. Okay, how could I say based on earning marks or not? Based on getting marks in a test, isn't it? So I segregated it is right now. So then, but when it comes to countries, based on their income only, then we are going to separating them or segregating them or dividing them. Okay, let us understand how to compare the countries right now. The next concept is about how to compare the countries. How to compare the countries. So just now I compared you based on your marks. In the same way, I have to compare the countries not based on their marks, because I'm not going to conduct a test for the countries like India means calling all the countries to conduct a test now, or calling their representatives to conduct a test now, isn't it? But I have to segregating. I have to compare the countries based on their income. My dear students, comparing the countries based on their income only. I mean, income is a criteria for a classification of countries. This is the only criteria. But the total income is not a good criteria for classification of countries. The total income doesn't explain how an individual person earns. For example, the total income of a country is called national income. This is important for one mark. What is meant by national income? National income means total income of a country. Total income of a country is called national income. One more question, 2 marks. Okay, according to the pattern, at least 2 mark question. So what is national income? Right now, national income means total income of a country is called national income. Total income in the sense of all the residents. For example, if you take out the our country income, it is our country total income. Total income in the sense of the income of all the residents. For example, there are more than 135 crore people living in our country. Yes, no. So this 135 crore people income is national income, or the total income of all the individuals, isn't it? But when we take out the total income of the country, but not all the people have been earning now, isn't it? For example, as you have the children, are you earning? No. As your grandparents, are they earning? No. But who are earning? Your parents are earning it is. Yes, no. The working people are going to earn. Working people who are in between more than 15 years to 59 years. The people who in between 15 to 59 years, the people has to be earn income. But here, when we talk about national income, income of all the individuals or income of complete a country, a total people. But when we have taken the total people income, but not all the people have been earning money, isn't it? So that's what I'm telling you, that this total income is not a good criteria for classification of countries. That is why we have taken average income of a country. Okay, an average income of a country is called per capita income. What? Per capita income. Important. So what is per capita income? Per capita income means an average income of a country is called an average income of a country is called per capita income. See how we get per capita income. So per capita income is equal to per capita income is equal to national income by total population. Then we divide national income with total population. Right? So this is national income means the income of entire the nation, no? Income of all the individuals, no? Right now. So when we divide national income with total population, we get per capita income, nothing but per head income it is. This is the individual income of a country, individual. Each and every person income is nothing but an average income, isn't it? So here per capita income means an average income of a country is called per capita income. We get the per capita income when we divide national income with the total population. So these two are important for examination point of view. Ask 2 mark questions. What is national income? What is per capita income? What is national income? Total income of a country is called national income. It's been income of entire the nation, income of all the individuals. But when we talk about per capita income, an average income of a country, average, they have taken average income of a country is called per capita income. Yes, no, we get this per capita income by dividing national income with the total population. Total population. Yes, no, we get individual income or not. So this individual income is called what now? Per capita income or per head income. Per head income. So when we talk about how to compare the countries, we compare the countries not take up income as a criteria, but we take up averages. Yes, no. Average income is a criteria for classification of countries. Yes, no. But it is too impossible to define or segregate the countries based on their earning total income it is. Here, the total income in the sense of how this income distributed among the people. It's impossible, no? So that is why we have to compare the countries based on the average income of the country only. Clear? So according to World Bank, World Development Reports, we discuss about the classification of countries based on the average income now. Yes, we take out the average income or per capita income to classification of countries, right? See, according to World Bank, no? Yes, no. I mean, the World Bank brought out to World Development Report. World Development Reports. See, World Bank brought out World Development Report, right? According to World Development Report, the countries classified as high income countries, middle income countries, and low income countries. Yes, how we classified based on the income or not? Based on the average income of a country it is, not total income it is. Right now. See, for example, if a country earns $12,055, now $12,055 and above, those countries comes under high income countries. High income countries. What are high income countries? if the country average income is $12,055 and above, they are called high income countries according to World Development Report, which is brought by World Bank. For example, almost the Western countries are the developed countries. Almost the Western countries are the high income countries. Example, USA, Britain, France, Portugal, Spain, Brazil. In the East, few countries are well developed as high income countries. Example, Japan, Australia also, Singapore also. Isn't it? See how we segregated, how we say those countries are particularly that countries only developed because they have taken the average income of that particular country, isn't it? According to the criteria used by World Bank, $12,055 and above, that countries comes under high income countries only. Right now. Next, if the country per capita income is $995 and below this, $995 and below, those countries that comes under low income countries. Low income countries. See, just now I gave an example to classify you. As a teacher, I had classified you in a class based on your marks only. So based on your marks, I segregated students are above average students, and below average one. Right now. But here I have taken average income of a country. Yes, no. According to the World Bank report, which is brought out by World Bank, that is World Development Report, classified based on the average income, that is $12,055 and above are high income, $995 and below are low income countries. In between, $995 and $12,055, so they are comes under middle income countries. Middle income countries. Yes. So as have to know what are the countries comes under high income, low income, and middle income. So there is a world map given in the textbook. It may ask you the public examinations and ask to write what are high income countries or which countries are comes under higher human development. Yes, no. The countries which are higher human development also have the good average income, isn't it? So as I given few examples for high income countries are, what are they? Britain, France, USA, Australia, Japan. But what are the low income countries are? Mostly African countries. The Central African countries were the low income countries. Example, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, okay, Angola, next to Kenya, Congo, something. All of them it is. Right now. And when we comes to Asian countries, like Vietnam, okay, one of the Southeast Asian country is a low income country itself. Clear? So few islands in the Philippines also low income countries only. Right now. So those countries income is $995 below itself. Below. Right? So when we comes to middle income countries, the income of them is $995 to $12,055. What are they? India is the best example. Actually, in the beginning, I mean, when our country got independence, India is considered low income country only, but it falls to middle income country as we are developing right now. We are developing right now. So as we are developing, we are considered, or we falls under middle income country only. Actually, our country income in between $995, okay, and between $12,055 in between the two, so that we are comes under what middle income countries are. Like even Pakistan middle income country, or almost all the neighboring countries of India falls under middle income countries only. Clear? See here, what criteria we used for classification of countries? Income we used. Okay, now income we used. That is average income we used. right now. So average income is a good criteria for classification of countries, right now. So according to the average income, it classified based on the given data it is or given numericals itself. Clear? So this development, this report which is brought out by World Bank. According to World Development Report, only they classified the countries based on the given income. Now, based on the given income. So that is why, my dear students, you have to remember the income of high income countries or average income of low income countries or the middle income countries for examination point of view. It is right now. See here, average is used for only comparison. Then only comparison, but doesn't tell how this income individually distributed. Individually distributed. Here we have taken average income only, average, right now, but not the individual income of a person it is. We have taken average income of a country it is, not a person it is. Clear? So in this example, what you understood? We understood that average income is a criteria for classification of countries, but how this income distributed among the people doesn't explain. So that is why average is used for only comparison. Now, only comparison doesn't tell how their income distributed among the people, doesn't explain. Right now. So just have to open your textbook and see the table given there. So the given table, there are two different countries given. I mean, country and country be given. Two countries are there. Each countries had 5 portions. How many number of portions given there? 5 portions given. But just have to see the country and country B. So both the countries' average income is same. When you have done the average income of country A, you get 10,000 rupees. And country B average income also, you get to 10,000 only. So both the countries' average income is same, 10,000. But here, you see, 5 persons' income is too different. In country A, the average income is somewhat better itself. But it comes to country B, first 4 persons earn only 500 rupees. Only 500. But the 5th person income is much better. Isn't it? Much better it is. So when you have seen two countries, or when we classify the two countries, both the countries' average income is same, but when we comes to the individual distribution is too different. Too different it is. So I have to suggest you to live in country A than the country B, because in country B, no one extremely poor and no one extremely rich. Most of the people like there are 5 persons given. The 5% income is same, almost same it is. Here, no one extremely rich, no one extremely poor. But in country B, first 4% extremely poor, but the 5th person extremely rich. See, which country is better to live? You may answer for country B as a 5th person only. As a 5th person. But most of the people has to choose country A, because in country A, no one extremely rich and no one extremely poor. Isn't it? So that is why what I am telling you, average is only for comparison. Which country is the best? Both the countries' income is same. So that both the countries are developing countries or as underdeveloped countries. When we have seen the average income of them, my dear students, when you have done the average income of country A is 10,000, country B also you get 10,000. Here, both the countries' average income is same, 10,000, 10,000. But how this average income divided among the people or distributed among the people doesn't tell. In this example, we have taken 5 persons, but it is possible to take 135 crore people of our country of their income. Is it possible? No. That is why we have chosen average income of our country, where it falls, whether it is in high income country or low income country or middle income country. So that is why I am telling you, Average is only for comparison, but doesn't tell how the income distributed among the people. Doesn't tell. By the students, isn't it? There is a question. So why do we use averages? Answer is that average is used for only comparing the countries based on their average income itself, isn't it? So you have to remember that the World Bank brought out of World Development Report. Okay, according to World Development Report, the countries classified based on their average income or per capita income, right? If per capita income of a country is $12,055 and above, those countries falls under high income countries. Example, yes, Britain, France. If the country per capita income is $995 and below, those countries comes under low income countries. If the countries per capita income in between $995 to $12,055, those countries comes under middle income countries. Right now, so I have taken one example to understand is that a marks in a class. Yes, a marks in a class. Not all the students have the same marks, no, isn't it? Few students got good marks. Few students got average marks. Few students got very poor marks. But a teacher has taken the average marks in a subject. For example, there are 6-7 subjects are there. Telugu, Hindi, English, maths, science, in the sense physical science and biology and socialities. So the teacher has to take the marks of these 7 subjects and means done the average it is. Telugu marks average has taken, Hindu marks average has taken, English, till social studies, isn't it? Here I have average marks only in a subject of Telugu, in a subject of social, in a subject of mathematics only. I have only average marks. But this average number doesn't tell how an individual student is got marks. For example, out of 20, the social studies average is 18. But not all the students got 18 marks, no? Okay, no? Few of them got 12 marks. Few of them got 8 marks. Few of them got 2 marks only. Few of them got 20 marks. Example, I am telling them. But when we have taken the average in the Telugu or social studies, the number is 18 or 17. Yes, no? So based on 18 or 17, then we classify the entire class into, yes, whether the class is good in social or poor in social, or good in Telugu or poor in Telugu, isn't it? So what we have chosen, what we have seen, we have seen the average marks in a subject of Telugu, but I haven't asked, I haven't seen the marks of individual in Telugu or social subject. Is it clear, my dear students? That is why, as I told you, that average is only for comparison. Whether the students are good in social studies or poor in social studies, whether students are good in maths or poor in maths, that's it. But how the averages, how these averages are, how these marks are classified or when segregated among the people or students individually, doesn't tell. In the same way, in this example, we have taken averages only, average income only. Yes, no? So that average income we have taken for classification of country, that income doesn't tell how this income individually got. No. As I told you, see, this is the per capita income of high income countries. Per capita income, that is what $12,055 as I have taken this. But not all the people of a country earn $12,055, no, not all of them. But this is only average. Here I have taken $995 for segregating or seeing what are the low income countries. But not all the people of the country earning $995, no, not all the people are. But the people has been earning more than $995 or less than the $995 also, or more than $1,055 in the high income country or less than $1,050 also. But I have taken average of that particular country only. average income I have taken or the per capita income I have taken, isn't it? So with this income, I classified the countries as high income or developed countries, low income are the poor countries or underdeveloped countries or middle income countries or developing countries like India it is. India, isn't it? So you have to remember that the concept is about how to compare the countries. You understood that to compare the countries, you have taken a criteria is average income or per capita income, but not total income of a country is national income. Have you taken national income? No, we have taken average income or the per capita income of that particular nation to classify the country. That's it. It is easy for classification. It is too difficult for classifying the countries if you have taken the individual income of the particular country. Is it possible to count each and every person income? For example, as per 2011 census, India's population is 121 crore. As per 2011 census, right now the population crossed 135 crore. Is it possible to get the income of individual each and every person? It's impossible. That is why we have taken average income of that particular country for classification. Right, my dear students? So tomorrow in the class, we'll discuss about yes, no, the per capita income of given states, yes, no, and about human development index. We'll discuss tomorrow in the class. Okay, thank you all. Okay, have a nice day.